let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Happy holidays and welcome inside Mellow Mushroom. As you can hear, really good crowd on hand for our Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. My name is Alan York. We'll be joined by Coach coming up here in just a couple of seconds. Some housekeeping duties as we always do here before we bring in the coach. Liberty coming off an impressive win at home against Western Kentucky, 38-21 on Saturday. The Flames now 8-2 overall. Yeah, you can cheer for that. 5-2 in Conference USA. Staying alive for another shot at a Conference USA championship, and it comes down to Sam Houston. The Flames and Bearcats Saturday in Huntsville, Texas, 3:30 Eastern, and we'll have the broadcast on the radio. It'll be on the CBS Sports Network as well. Pivotal game really for all four teams in Conference USA. Jacksonville State, with their win over Sam Houston last week, they will host the Conference USA Championship. Will Liberty be in it? With a win against Sam Houston, they will be. And that's what is on the mind of the Flames, all the fans, and all the radio broadcasters as well, coming up on Saturday. The Bearcats, really good team. 8-3 overall, 5-2 in Conference USA. They still have a trek to get to the Conference USA Championship as well. They come off a loss at Jacksonville State, 21-11 on Saturday. If you want to be part of the show, you can join us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LFSN Radio. We're video streaming that worldwide right now. You can put a question for Coach in there. You can email us, lfsn@liberty.edu, or join us on X at LFSN Radio. If you have a question as well, got a hot mic here in Mellow Mushroom here tonight. All right, let's bring in our special guest, the head coach of Liberty football, Jamey Chadwell. Coach, congratulations on the win over Western Kentucky, 38-21. I know it was an important game for your team, for this coaching staff. Just your thoughts on how you got it done, then we'll kind of dive into a few specifics.
Yeah, obviously very pleased with not only the outcome, but just how we played. You know, we've been consistently inconsistent all season long, and you know, our whole challenge is if we can play 4 quarters with the intensity that we're capable of, then you feel like you have the best team, right? We've not, for whatever reason, I've had a hard time getting that out of us. But I was very pleased with the way we played, even when things didn't go away. Maybe we we dominated the first quarter and things didn't go well early on. Our guys just kept plugging away and kept playing, and they played with a lot of joy. You could see they were playing for each other, and that's the team that we all know. And so very pleased with that. Regardless of the outcome, I was really excited how we played. Then, because if we play that way, then I feel like the outcome will go the way we want to.
Jamey, you mentioned playing with joy, and you started the season out hot, went through that 2-game lull. In Middle Tennessee, you started talking about joy again. Mm-hmm. You saw it in your team in that road win at Middle Tennessee State. What did the joy feel like during the game and even in the celebration on Saturday against Western?
I think more than just anything, and instead of we got to win, one of those, like, it wasn't even necessarily concerned about the win. It was more, man, hey, we're enjoying playing, just being able to play, and obviously senior day, a lot of different things going on, and it felt different from a standpoint that they were just excited to play. They're like, hey, let's not worry about the scoreboard. Let's not worry about who we're playing. Let's just play together and have fun. And that, for the first time all year, all 4 quarters, it felt that way. There's been other times when you feel that way and then, something would flip or vice versa. And so from just being there and feeling that energy, everybody on that sideline was connected and pulling for each other. And when we do that, I like our chances.
A couple of stat lines in that game, Jamey. You ran for a season-high 419 yards. Total yardage, season high of 556. Now, line share obviously was on the ground. And, again, remind our fans, you've kind of gotten back to that identity the last 3 weeks with more of a 2-back. You see more of the triple option, and it's been very successful. Getting guys healthy back again like a Juju Gray helps that. Mm-hmm. And did it just manifest itself from a full game perspective, you think, against Western Kentucky?
Well, I think part of it was, we've built on it the last 3 weeks, and Juju's getting more comfortable in his role, and everybody's getting comfortable. Hey, this is how we're going to attack people. Second part of it is Western Kentucky decided, hey, we're not going to let you throw anything deep. You know, we called some early, and as you noticed there, you know, and we had to scramble out of that, and they just kept staying in the same thing. And we're not the smartest coaching staff in the world, but when you know they keep giving you the same look and you can hand it off and get really positive yardage, hey, we're going to keep doing that. And they did not want to give up explosive plays. I think they wanted to see, hey, can you stay consistent and bleed it, and we're able to do that, you know. And so that was part of it as well. And then then I think what happened once we stuck with it, we wore them down a little bit. They got tired, and then those 4-yard runs, 5-yard runs started becoming 10, started becoming 12, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then, you know, that allowed us to, you know, then hit some of the passes and hit some of the other things.
Let's break down some of the aspects of this game. Liberty winning 38-21 over Western Kentucky. First quarter was entertaining, and it was, you know, marred by turnovers more so on their side. You had one as well. At the same time, though, you know, I was talking to Marion Williams earlier today, and he's like, man, I want to have a season where I create a lot of turnovers for my team. Had his first interception of his career earlier this year. He had 2 against Western Kentucky. The first one, take us through that drive and how that kind of started things defensively for your team.
Yeah, that was a big moment. We got the ball, you know, and moved it and had an opportunity to make, you know, get some points. Didn't do it. Defense comes out, and I think it was the second play of the drive, you know, and he did it. Him and Brylan were in a little coverage. They did a nice job of baiting the quarterback. And you want something positive to happen early on. You know, you want something really exciting, and for the defense to do that, I mean, one, the momentum was huge. I mean, their excitement, and you know, the great thing about that is, and most people don't realize, he didn't get back into town. He had to go to a funeral back in Texas where he's from. He didn't get back in town until Friday night at like 1 a.m.
Okay.
And so he had to leave Thursday for a funeral and end up playing his best game, you know. And so just for him to be able to lock in and play well, I mean, it says a lot about him. But I think that set the tone for our defense. Hey, we're here, and if you're going to earn some stuff, you're going to have to really earn it.
Yeah, and speaking of Amari Williams, he's our player profile for our pregame show Saturday. And you can hear that on our radio network beginning at 2 o'clock Eastern. All right, Western scores first. Little en route between the hash marks. Dalvin Smith, 9-yard touchdown catch. They go up 7-0. And then you score 3 straight, part of a 6 straight scoring barrage by your team, including the second half, Jamey. But Billy Lucas gets you on the board. 2-yard rush, 8 plays, 92 yards. I think that was the one that bounced off of Juju Gray on the kickoff. And you went 92 yards and got on the board there.
Yeah, I thought that was a pivotal drive because you'd mentioned our defense played extremely well, and we had nothing to show for it in the first quarter. I mean, if you look, we were dominating everything, and we just could not score for whatever reason. And then they get the ball, they score, and it looks like, hey, we've played really well, and they're up. And I think that was a pivotal drive for us to go be able to answer that. Match it to 7-7, not get down, not go 3 and out, anything of that nature. I thought that was huge, and to be able to go that far, 92 yards is tough, and we had some nice runs in there and some good plays, and that was a huge answer for us at that moment.
Your second score, 2:05 left to go in the second quarter. How much action, Jamey, in the last 2 minutes of that second quarter, there was so much action. We'll start with Quentin Cooley's 22-yard touchdown run. I've seen some of the end zone copies, and he was following Von Blue, and your offensive line was just getting really underneath the shoulder pads of that defensive line, and Cooley kind of corkscrewed his way into that pylon, and really great run and, dominating drive there by your team.
Yeah, that was well executed. We kept the ball a little bit there, and you mentioned that play. I mean, everybody at that moment, from the line, from the receivers to the extra running back, they were all on the guys they were supposed to be, and that's one we have these teach tapes, right, where you put a play in and you teach it off of that video, and that's one that's like a teach tape. It was executed perfectly. Wow. And that was again, now we got the drive. You're 2 minutes. You're up 14-7, and you're thinking, all right, hey, we've got a lead, which is a big deal there because we knew they were going to get the ball out of second half. And so you're thinking, hey, we've got a little bit of cushion, which is good.
All right, so here's the drive I want to really dissect here. About 45 seconds left. You get the ball around your own 10-yard line. I think they had to punt to you. And then Tyson Helton has all their timeouts.
Yeah, 2 timeouts.
And he's thinking, okay, I'm going to get the ball back. And it's like 45 seconds left. It's 3rd and 9. And Billy Lucas says, no, you're not. He rips off a 36-yard run, gets you near midfield, And then you end up scoring on an unbelievable scramble and a throw to Juju Gray for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a big sequence. He had a couple timeouts, and he was thinking, hey, I'll go after a block punt or something of that nature, and make that run. Now we're thinking, all right, I'm thinking, hey, we had all our timeouts. We're at the 50 with 30-something seconds left. Hey, let's get in field goal range, right? Yeah. The wind was behind us. And then we made a nice throw and another nice play. And with having the timeout, you could still run it some. So we had a little flexibility. But that was a pivotal moment, in the game from a momentum standpoint. You talk a lot about the middle eight. The middle eight is the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. A lot of people talk about the middle eight. Bill Belichick made it famous. And so I don't talk about it a lot. Our defense does.
Got it.
But that was a big pivotal moment, and so now you're up. Juju makes the nice play. K-Salt makes a nice little deal there. Now you're up. That's 2 touchdowns, and so you do have that cushion. They get the ball. If they come out and score, you're still up 7. Huge right there for confidence from a standpoint, but also to give you the cushion because they're a good team. They're going to come back.
21-7, Liberty leads it at halftime. We'll take our first break of our show here tonight. We'll recap the second half and look at Coach's Players of the Week as well. We're talking Liberty football tonight at Mellow Mushroom. Great crowd on hand as we have our Thanksgiving week show here, and Liberty get ready for Sam Houston on, keep saying Saturday, it's Friday. Willie Corn reminded me. I'll be there, I promise you. But it'll be Friday night at our afternoon at 3:30. So we'll take our first break. We're talking Liberty football brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union tonight at Mellow Mushroom. This is Liberty football from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Black Friday savings have started early at Lynchburg Nissan. Enjoy up to $8,300 off MSRP on select 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 of our most popular models. These savings won't last long, and with inventory moving fast, now's the time to take advantage. Plus, trade in your car and receive up to 130% of fair KBB value. That's right, huge savings, 0% financing, and large trade-in values. Black Friday starts now. Head to Lynchburg Nissan today.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames football show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames football show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight for our Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. The 8-2 Flames will head to Sam Houston Friday afternoon, 3:30 kickoff. Our pregame show Friday, Black Friday, will be at 2 o'clock on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. You can also watch the game on the CBS Sports Network. All right, Coach, we're breaking down your 38-21 win over Western Kentucky. You're up 21-7 at halftime, and then it gets interesting in the third quarter. Both teams, punch for punch. They scored to cut it a score, and then you scored, and then they score, and then Colin Carhue got a key field goals. That third quarter went kind of back and forth.
It did. They came out and answered right away. So, which was, and then that was why the second, that last touchdown before the second quarter was over was big. We got an immediate huge return, and we answered it right away, which was great. The only downside of that is your defense went right back on, who was over on the field a little bit, and they retired, and so and they were able to match it. But to be able to match it right away was big at that moment because it kept that cushion, and then like you said, back and forth. But I thought Collins' kick at that time frame was big because you didn't want to get down there and get out of not score, and they blocked it, and tipped it. And a funny story on that, I asked after the kick went in, we saw it blocked, but it went in, and so we're on the sidelines getting ready for kickoff, and we asked Max Morgan, our punter, who holds.
Right.
Max, who blocked that? He said, one of the defensive players. I said, really? None of our offensive guys blocked it, Max? I mean, that's how he was thinking. And so, to me, that was a good answer because you still were up 2 scores, and you're going into the fourth up 2 scores, which, in a battle of 2 good teams, I mean, that's a big deal in a 4-quarter battle.
You mentioned the return game. Juju Gray, obviously, at his previous stop was very dangerous, and now getting him healthy, you've seen him open a couple of those the last couple of weeks. All right, the one you talked about before Quentin scored on his 2-yard run, and then you got the ball, you rolled right with Caden, threw back left. What did you guys see on film for that kind of throwback to Juju?
Yeah, a little screen action, and previous 3-4 games we've done a little fake and we've sprinted out and tried some other different things, and they're very aggressive off the edge.
Okay.
And it's something that we had put in and thinking, hey, they're going to chase the quarterback because of the rollout and the potential run. And Coach Korn called a great call. It was a great call at the right time. There was hardly anybody over there. Jack Tucker was leading the way. Did a nice job on their defensive back, the last one there, and somebody pushed him out. Only reason he didn't score, he was still tired from running 50 yards on the kick return. That was it. But I think that was a big play. We had you try to have a compliment off every play you do, and so if you have a compliment off of it, you want to run, you want to pass off of it, and maybe an RPO that complements you, so they all look the same, and so nobody knows. And that was a big call at that time frame.
Your final score, Coach, Caden Salter, 3-yard run, capped off a 13-play, 86-yard drive. I'll have to go back. I know UMass, you had a couple, maybe Middle Tennessee. When you're driving, you're going coast to coast. It's a lengthy. You're getting double-digit drives last couple of weeks. The wear and tear that puts on the defense and the body language. You could see it in that whole game, Jamey. The Western guys were you were frustrating them with the lengths of your drive. How demoralizing is that for that other team when you just run it right down their throat?
It's hard, because one, you're getting banged on consistently, right? Every snap, you get banged, and eventually you get tired of that, and then, as I said, those runs turn into bigger plays. But nothing better if you ask an offensive lineman. There's nothing better than moving another man against his will. Right, and that's what you end up doing when you're on those many drives or those long of drives. You're moving somebody, another human, against their will, and that's what they want. And what I love about it is we got stronger as the game went, and our guys got more and more confident, and they were playing with confidence. And when you're in that moment, there's nothing better because hey, no matter what, we're going to figure it out, and to be able to execute it's hard to execute 13 plays in a row. It's hard to execute 3 plays in a row, and to be able to do that, looking at that, I think we had 8 plays, 9 plays, 13 plays, 14 plays. That's a lot. That's a lot of ball control. That's a lot of plays they're playing, and that's how we need to win right now. We got to be able to control the line of scrimmage and give our people a chance to let our defense be fresh. It helps your defense play be fresh, and so it's a big deal.
The concern going into that game against Western was so many looks they give you defensively. How many did they try to give you? They weren't really successful, but their game plan coming in, did they get out of sync with what they typically do because of the success you had, or could you tell?
No, they end up. We were a little surprised at what they played. That's something they've shown us, and so we were ready for it. We were surprised they didn't maybe do a couple different things a little differently. As I said, they played in a technical term, they played a lighter box, meaning they had more people on the perimeter and deep than they really had in that box right there. And so that's why we were just kept going after it because we had a bunch of plays in for some shots and some deep passes and some different things, RPOs, but the way they played, they took a lot of those away. And so you have to, with your, hey, the job is to win the game, no more than anything, and so that's why it ended up, rushing for that much. But it was something we prepared for. We thought we might see something different, and they never did go to that different thing that we thought, and you hope you're prepared for that as well. We try to prepare for everything there is. We were surprised maybe they didn't change it up some, but they're good at what they do. I mean, they're the top defense, one of the top 2 defense in the league. I think they were top 5, top 10 in red zone scoring.
Oh, they were
going into that, but we were able to have a lot of success, which was good.
Yeah, you mentioned that red zone. They were excellent coming in, and you guys finished 5 for 5, 4 touchdowns in the red zone against them. So that was really tremendous.
And that's a big difference, because where they've been great is not necessarily people have getting yards on them, but they're not scoring a lot.
Yeah,
they'd get down there and they get stopped, and that. For us to be able to score touchdowns when we're down there, that demoralizes you because if you're, hey, we're great in red zone defense, you feel good about it. Hey, we might let them get down there, we're not going to score, and we were able to score.
Yep,
that's a big deal.
You thwarted that. All right, a couple guys you played without: Alex Oliver, Quentin Reese. Health-wise, how you looking entering Sam Houston?
We're I think just as anybody, we're banged up pretty good, and so shorter week obviously because of the Friday game, and as you mentioned on Friday, I even forgot it was Black Friday, and so we'll call it Light Blue Friday.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
And so we'll be banged up. We don't expect Q Reese to come back. Alex Oliver's will be probably a Thursday decision before we leave. How's he looked, and we got some other guys that got banged up in that game. But right now, as of now, the expectations for everybody to play. We'll see. X-Gray got hurt; he didn't come back in. He's made some good progress. He obviously plays O-line, so there you're not moving in space as much. So through some injuries, you can play through some of those things a little bit. And he's a tough young man, and so as of today, we feel solid about it. Now we'll see how they improve.
But how about this too? Defensively, last week you knew you were going to be without Quentin Reese, Alex Oliver. Called Jaden Sweeney's name out a lot. So guys that typically may not get higher reps, they took their chance and opportunity.
They did, and Dexter Ricks got hurt during the game.
Okay.
People, I don't know if everybody noticed, he wore a little knee brace. They had to put it on, and he got banged up. And so we were very thin there, and some guys did sub up Sweeney, and we needed him too. He made some nice plays. I mean, he played aggressive, and that's what you want. At this time of year, nobody's going to be 100%, and the guys that have been practicing all year, maybe they hadn't played as much as they want. This is when they have to step up, and they need to play well for their teammates. And that was good to see last week. And we're going to have to rally. If we have some guys out this week, we're going to have to rally around, and some guys are going to have to play, up to the highest standard we can, to get up there in Texas and hopefully find a way to get a win.
And that's Liberty Sam Houston, Friday, 3:30 Eastern. Before we take our next break and let Coach get some dinner, got a question from the audience. And one of our regulars in the house. Give us your name again and your question for Coach.
Yes, sir. My name is Solomon Park.
Solomon.
Great to see you two again. And I want to say a well played and great win against Western Kentucky last Saturday. So because this is the last radio show event, I have 2 questions for you. So my first question to you is, so how are you and your team going to get ready since you're on the road to play against Sam Houston this Friday?
Okay.
And my second question to you is, if you do beat Sam Houston, what do you and your team learn on how to face Jacksonville State that they're hosting it on the Conference USA next Friday after what happened on October 30th?
Good question, Solomon.
That's a great question. I'm not going to answer that one. Because we don't need to be thinking about them. You can come if we can win next week. You can come back and ask me that question. Okay, so I'll answer your first one. Anytime you go on the road, I think it's hard, especially when you've not been somewhere new. Like this is our first time going there. We've never been there, so we don't know never been in that hotel, never been in their locker room, never seen where their clocks is and all those things. So I think there's obviously a challenge. Then you add on that it's Thanksgiving, maybe not tons of people there, so there won't be tons of energy in the stadium. And then thirdly, you're playing a really good team, right? And when you go on the road, to have a metaphor, you're packing your luggage. Like you got to have a tough-minded team that will bring some toughness with them. And they're playing for a championship berth. We're playing for a championship berth, so it's a championship game. I told our team earlier, it's like if you look at it like the NFL, we're in either the AFC championship game or we're in the NFC championship game. Whichever side you like best, that's what we are. And the winner of this gets to go the big one. And so we have to approach it that way. It's a playoff game. So you got to make sure you have some tough-minded guys that know what we're going up there for. And I'll answer your question next week.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Appreciate
thanks, sir. Play well this Friday, and have a blessed Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thanks, Solomon. You too.
Thank you, Solomon. All right, Coach, let you get a break here and get a little dinner, and we'll talk Sam Houston around 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Jamey Chadwell.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams.
Coming up next on our radio show, we will hear some of our great sponsor commercials, most notably Freedom First Credit Union for sponsoring, title sponsor of our weekly radio show. Coming up next, we will hear some radio calls of the win over Western Kentucky, plus the post-game reaction from Jerome Jolly, who had an interception in the game against the Hilltoppers, and Billy Lucas, who ran over 100 yards, as did Quentin Cooley. We'll take a timeout here. Our weekly Liberty football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, continues after this from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Right back inside Mellow Mushroom on this Tuesday night for the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. We'll have Coach back up here in just a little bit as we talk Liberty Sam Houston. Pivotal game for both teams. Liberty, if they win against Sam Houston Friday afternoon, they will play in the Conference USA Championship for the second consecutive season. Sam Houston 8-3, 5-2. They still have a trek to the Conference USA Championship as well. So it's a big one for both. Kickoff 3:30 Friday. Our pregame show comes your way 2 o'clock on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. It'll be the second meeting between Liberty and Sam Houston. Remember last year, 21-16 Liberty win. Sam Houston, with about 3:30 left, drove from its own 1-yard line all the way down the field to the Liberty 3 and was denied 4 times, all on pass attempts, as Liberty won it 21-16. So we'll get Coach's take on the Bearcats coming up here in just a little bit. Time now to listen back to some of the radio highlights of our win over Western Kentucky. Then after that, we'll hear the post-game reaction from Liberty linebacker Jerome Jolly, who had 8 tackles and an interception. And we'll also hear from Billy Lucas, who had 19 carries and a season-high 131 yards rushing, part of a rushing attack that had a season-high for Liberty, 419 yards on the ground. So let's go revisit Liberty's win over Western Kentucky this past Saturday.
Of the Hilltoppers, 2 receivers, right, 1 left. Feldkamp takes the snap, number 10 in white, back in the pocket, it holds. Rifles over the middle, and it's going to be picked off at the 35-yard line. Amarian Williams, what a play for number 26. And the Flames have it in Hilltopper territory with the takeaway. At the Liberty 15, no score. Young to the right of Feldkamp. Gets the snap. Feldkamp wants to throw. Right hash. Lofts it up, and it's intercepted. Jerome Jolly's got it at the 10-yard line. Second interception for Feldkamp. This time it's in the Flames' red zone, and Jerome Jolly picks off his third. Towards the south end zone to our left. Salter shotgun, gets the snap, hands off Lucas up the middle, and he's going to get into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Billy Lucas gets the Flames on the board with his 5th rushing score of the year. Second down 10 from the Flames 36. Feldkamp to throw. Middle, pass caught, and immediately dropped. Ball came out at the 35. Flames say they have it, and they do. The fumble recovery from defensive lineman Bryce Dixon. The 3rd turnover in the first half for Western Kentucky. Second down and 3 from the Hilltopper 22. Snap to Salter. Handoff again. Cooley, lot of room. Near side. 10 to the 5 to the pylon. He jumps. Pylon falls down. Hands go up by the official. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Huge run once again by this Flames offense, and great job.
On second down and 7, snap to Salter, right hash, under pressure. He being chased on the numbers, throws end zone. It's caught. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. On the right sideline, Juju Gray pulls it down out of the air. He's now being surrounded by the Liberty cheerleaders. At the Hilltopper 2, in the shade, Salter shotgun. Gets the snap, turns right, hands off Cooley, and he is into the end zone. 2-yard touchdown run. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. And a flag is out, possibly on the celebration. This is from inside the right hash from 29 yards out. Good snap, ball down. Kick on the way, low, tumbling up, and it is good. Oh, my goodness. A knuckleball by Colin Carhew. To the south end zone to our left. Salter shotgun. Claps his hands, gets the ball. Will fake the handoff. Will gallop into the end zone. He is in. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Boy, lots of frustration.
Ball game. No timeouts left for the Hilltoppers. 4th and 2 at the Hilltopper 33. Snap to Feldkamp. Those near side. Diving attempt. Picked off by the Flames. Amarian Williams, his 2nd pick of the day, will seal it for the Flames.
And Alan, you can't.
We're going to head back inside the media room. And we've got Jerome Jolly, who had an interception here today. Jerome, congratulations on the win defensively. Take us through the effort today, what it took for you guys to beat Western Kentucky.
It took everybody from D-line, linebackers, safeties, and corners. Even the show team, the scout team, it took everybody this week. Something we already knew, but we had to put on display.
Take us through your interception there in the first half. Ball that kind of floated up in your direction. It was a key play inside the red zone there to take that away from Western Kentucky.
That's one of them plays, mesh concept, one of them plays. We were practicing practice all week, and just luckily he just overthrew it, and I just capitalized on it.
The media was talking a little bit to Coach Chadwell about the energy on your sideline today from the opening kickoff all the way through the fourth quarter. What type of energy did it take from your team to win this one here today?
Everybody playing their heart out, just that simple. You know, just leaving it all out there. Know that we can't leave anything in the tank or we're going to regret it, so just that simple.
Liberty wins over Western Kentucky 38-21, joined by linebacker Jerome Jolly Jr. Now we'll head back in the media room and questions from the media.
We talked to you earlier in the week about senior day. You had an interception and you win such a big game, on a day like today. What does this day kind of feel like to you? What are the memories you're going to take with you from a day like today forever?
Remember every single play. I can't even lie. Like just leaving it all out there, like I told him. Just leaving it all out there. No regrets. Cause just look back on this. This is what we wanted. So, yeah.
Jamey Chadwell mentioned and used the word joy about the feeling for the team. Is this the most joy you and your team have felt from start of the game to now celebrating win? Yeah, most definitely. We kind of let outside external factors kind of determine our season. So this was the first game that we were just saying, forget everything. This is about us and lead on the brother and let's just have fun out there. And to follow up on that as well, you mentioned the external factors. You guys playing as loose and confident as you've had as y'all played all year?
Oh yeah, for sure. We shown flashes of it, certain drives and certain quarters show flashes of it, but this is the game where we put it all together on display.
Just kind of going off that a little bit, you mentioned you guys have shown it in flashes. You guys have played great in stretches. There have been tough stretches as well. Is it frustrating as somebody who's a leader on this team that it kind of took to getting to this moment, right, where your back's against the wall for conference championship? You wish it maybe could have happened earlier, or are you just glad that it kind of happens here at the most important point?
Yeah, just it happened at the time it happened. At this point, you got to forget everything that happened because it's a brand new season. We got all our cards in our hand. We got to flush everything that happened before, and this game was a brand new season, like an extra bye week. So we're just taking that a factor.
Western Kentucky likes to pass the ball. You guys were banged up a little bit in the secondary, all over the team, really. But how important was it for every guy to kind of be bought in and to be ready for this game plan and this passing attack?
Very major. We on defense we had a saying going the whole week, like don't let us win this game because we're gonna be rolling. So we just taking that from Monday all the way to now. So yeah.
And getting 4 turnovers on the day, that was a big part of you guys' games last year, and maybe up and down a little bit this year in turnover department. But getting 4 today, how crucial was that to helping you guys win?
Very crucial. We know what they were gonna do. We know their plan to throw the ball a lot and set up the run, 2 pass, double moves and all that. So as long as we knew what we were going to do before the game, and now that we capitalized on it, as a defense, we're proud.
You mentioned don't let us get this one, and then we're rolling. Where did that come from? What's that about?
It was just more of an internal, locker room thing between the coaches and the players. Just don't let it get this one. My GA, Teddy Gallagher, I know he's going to be mad I brought him up, but he was, I guess the Yankees in baseball, they were down 3-0. They were down 0-3, so they were talking about don't let it get this one, and they came back to win. So that was just kind of our mindset, no matter what happened past season, don't let it get this one, and we rolling. Sure.
Everybody good?
Appreciate y'all.
All right, that was Jerome Jolly with the media, and we're going to be joined now by Billy Lucas here today. Billy, 19 carries, 134 yards. All right, Billy, you guys did a great job running the ball here today. Take us through the game plan coming in and how your guys were able to execute it on the ground here this afternoon.
I think the game plan kind of was the pound the rock. We knew we was going to have to go out there and assert dominance, trust our O-line, trust what the coaches was calling. Our O-line came out there. They did great. They dominated the whole game. So that was kind of game plan to go in and kind of assert that dominance and just keep going until they could stop it and pound the rock.
Billy, last 3 weeks, this team has gotten back to its identity. 2-back set, just ground and pound. That's what you guys do well. When the offense kind of shifted maybe starting against Middle Tennessee a couple of weeks ago, what was their reaction to the running backs knowing that, hey, we're going to have a lot of the responsibility here down the stretch?
It's just always what we want. So we just, tell each other, like, let's go. Come on, it's our time. Time to, when the team depend on us, time to take advantage of all those opportunities. So, like, when we know the game plan is to pound a rock, it just makes us go even harder in practice, even harder in the game, because we know we got a lot of responsibility.
Liberty wins over Western Kentucky 38-21 today in Lynchburg, joined by running back Billy Lucas, 19 carries, 131 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, Billy, we'll get to some questions from the media.
Billy, at one point you're averaging 7 a pop per run. Do you guys, as running backs, start to gain confidence when you just see the holes continuing to open up and having different options?
Oh, yeah, for sure. As a running back, it's like once you get that one big run, and all the other running backs know it too. Like, we can see it on the sideline no matter whoever in. Like, you kind of lock into a zone where it's just like everything feel like it's opening up. You start seeing things at all type of different angles. So once it gets to rolling, you definitely lock in and get in the zone for sure.
You guys, this 3 straight weeks now, you've gone over 300, go over 400 today on the ground. What's gotten into this team a little bit the last few weeks as far as you guys being able to run with so much success?
Really just leaving everything in the past and just looking forward. These last couple games is real important. So just focusing on our goal, trusting. I feel like today we was closer than ever. Like, it really started last week. You could see and feel the energy as close as we got as a team. And then today it was just electric on the sideline, on the field. Like, we just keep getting closer, keep trusting each other, and keep playing how we know we can play in a certain dominance.
Sorry, talking about that, electricity and stuff on the sideline, especially there in the fourth quarter. Does it feel different than it has maybe all season? You guys, coming together at the right time?
Oh yeah, for sure. We always together. We always got that love for each other. But now we're just showing them more. You could tell everybody enjoying it and having fun on the field, and even the sideline getting into the game. And that's always an extra boost when even the guys who not in cheering on, or the offense cheering on the defense cheering on the offense. It just bring a different type of drive to the game.
Obviously, you had that big run that set up the late score there in the first half. That was really crucial. Coach Chadwell mentioned how key that was to go up 14 before the half. What was the mentality before that play, going into that drive? And then did you feel like your run specifically kind of blew that drive open and changed the whole mentality for that one?
Oh, yeah, it's 2 minutes. It's something we practice, and we practice every day, going over 2-minute situation scenario. So in that moment, we looking to score. So when we started running the ball, I was hoping something popped and something did. And once that set it up, I kind of knew we was going to go and get a touchdown after that big run came.
And that was post-game reaction from linebacker Jerome Jolly and running back Billy Lucas after Liberty's 38-21 win over Western Kentucky. Next up for Liberty, regular season finale at Sam Houston Friday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern. Our pregame radio coverage comes your way at 2 o'clock. We're going to have a number of guests on the radio. We're going to hear from defensive back Amarian Williams. We're also going to hear from Carlos Zimmerman, who's the radio broadcaster for Sam Houston. He'll spend a few minutes with us on the radio talking about the Bearcats and how their season has gone so far. Of course, we'll have the pregame thoughts of head coach Jamey Chadwell right before kickoff. All right, we're going to take our final break of our weekly radio show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. When we come back, we'll break down the Bearcats and what they possess in front of Liberty coming up on Friday. And that comes up next after this 2-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Black Friday savings have started early at Lynchburg Nissan. Enjoy up to $8,300 off MSRP on select 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 of our most popular models. These savings won't last long, and with inventory moving fast, now's the time to take advantage. Plus, trade in your car and receive up to 130% of fair KBB value. That's right, huge savings, 0% financing, and large trade-in values. Black Friday starts now. Head to Lynchburg Nissan today.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthlight Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Final few minutes on our weekly radio show. Yeah, good crowd on hand here tonight at Mellow Mushroom. Maybe our biggest one since maybe week one. And with people coming and going for the holiday season, good to see everybody out and celebrating pre-Thanksgiving with us here. Should Liberty win over Sam Houston, and I'd like to say after they beat Sam Houston, we'll be right back here. My glass is always half full for Liberty Athletics, folks. We'll be right back here Tuesday to talk about that. But as Coach, you mentioned one game at a time, and that's Sam Houston right ahead of your team, a team that you have a lot of respect for. Man, last year went right down to the wire and right down to your end zone there with 4 deflections there by your defense. But a team that is 8-3, they're vying for a spot in the title game as well. So it's going to be a fun one coming up on Friday.
It will be. This late in the year when you're playing for something this important, I think that's speaks a lot of both, universities and both programs. Coach Keeler has done a fantastic job. Obviously he's won everywhere he's been, and even, last year they got hot towards the end of the season, and the way their guys play, they play with a lot of confidence. And they've had, in 2 of their games this year, they're 8-3, as you mentioned. 2 of the games, Western and Jack State could have went either way. From that standpoint, obviously UCF got after them pretty good. But besides that, they've scored a lot of points. They're playing tremendous defense, and that's, to me, is where where they're winning, is they're holding people scoreless and allowing their offense to wear you down. And they've got some good players. Quarterback's a good player. Running back's a good player. They do a good job up front. So it's going to be a 4-quarter battle, and as shared with the team today, it's really going to be the team that can keep going, keep getting after every snap, and who can be tougher, who can last longer through that 4 quarters. Because no team is going to tap out, and it'll come down to who can make the plays at the key pivotal moments and take care of the ball. I think that'll be the difference. And in my mind, it comes down to the kicking game, and you got to do well there.
I thought you were asked a very poignant question during your media session earlier today about last week. Sam Houston played Jack State. They run the ball really well. It was a tight game, 21-11. Jacksonville State won. You love rushing the football as well. And whether or not the question was, does that benefit you just seeing who they just played a week ago, similar style offenses? And you may disagree with the similar style offenses, but both Jack State and Liberty love to rush the football. And what do you get out of a game like that where you play that next team, Sam Houston, next week?
Well, you hope you see how they try to defend certain things, right?
Okay.
Hey, they try to do this, they try to do that, and it gives you an opportunity. All right, this is if they do this, then hey, we like our answers with this. Now they're going to adjust as well because there is some differences in the offenses, but it does give you a chance to see how the defensive coordinator thinks and how he likes to attack certain people that are run heavy, and so it does give you not an advantage, but at least you've seen some of his answers, right? Football is all about the answers to the questions, and when they give you another question, do you have the answer for it? And they'll give us something that maybe they've not shown as much of, and hopefully we have to have an answer that can overcome their question, so to speak. And but it does give you some leeway. Like they played Kennesaw after us, so you see how they did Kennesaw, and so they've sort of followed everybody that we played prior to, and so we've seen them a lot on video, and that's why I think they're really, really good.
The week sped up a little bit. This is typically, I guess, your Wednesday, if you will, or how do you look at that with the game on Friday?
I mean, it typically, usually you have a day off, right? So we've not had a day off yet. And so we brought them back in Sunday and basically cleaned up all the game and you walk through. And then the next day is typically a Monday for us.
Yeah.
And so we used it as a Monday, maybe added a little bit of a Tuesday in there, did a little bit more. And then today, at least in our mind, even though it's a couple, 3 days out, we treated it like a Tuesday.
Okay.
And so tomorrow will be a little bit of a mix from that standpoint. Now, you're not hitting much, because you need your guys fresh, but you're trying to cover all the things that you typically cover on those days to make sure your guys stay sharp. Like today, we hit a little bit, in certain areas just to stay sharp. But at this point in the game, if you're not ready to hit and be physical at this point in the season, you're playing the wrong sport. You want to make sure you're as healthy as possible, but you also, as a coach, you want to make sure you've just sharpened each other a little bit, and so make sure speed you're coming off. And so we did that today, and tomorrow will be a little bit of mix, and then we'll actually have to. Typically the day before the game is sort of like a walkthrough. On Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we'll have to run around a little bit more than normal. One, because they're eating turkey on Wednesday, and so they'll all be full. And then we're flying out, the airplane. That's a couple-hour trip. So there's a lot they can take in. So we want to make sure we work them around a little bit on Thursday, and then not play until Friday at 3:30.
You mentioned flying out Thursday, Thanksgiving, and you shared with the media today. The team will eat a little Thanksgiving little meal tomorrow. Kind of what's part of that?
Yeah, so we'll practice, and then we'll have a lunch, but we'll make it a Thanksgiving lunch. So guys can come up, and we'll have the turkey and the ham and a lot of the sides and some of those things, so the guys can enjoy that. Then our non-travel guys, the guys that aren't traveling the game, they'll have the opportunity to go home and let them have some Thanksgiving at their house. And then the guys that travel, coaches will have them over at their house Wednesday night. Hopefully not feeding them turkey again, but they'll feed them something. And then Thursday we get up, and we won't have a turkey meal there just because the day before the game you'd like to not to have all that dopamine.
Oh yeah.
And so we'll have like a more of a normal breakfast and lunch, and then when we get to Sam Houston Thursday night, will be like our pregame stuff.
So you mentioned pumpkin roll for you as your.
I like a big pumpkin roll.
Yeah.
And I'll eat. I'm not going to turn anything down.
Oh sure.
But something about a pumpkin roll, excites me because you don't see it often, and when you do, it's got the cream cheese in it a little bit and all that. I like the cream cheese mixed with the pumpkin. I think that's a nice action.
You mentioned at the end earlier today, pecan or pecan. I'd like to take a poll of the media in how they would pronounce it versus where they grew up.
I say pecan.
Okay.
Now, I think the original, how you're supposed to say it's pecan.
I think it all depends on
where you're from, and I think how you're raised. Hillbilly, we said pecan. But I've always said pecan. My mom might even say pecan, maybe. But I've always sort of said pecan. But either way, it's pretty good. I'll eat it.
It all goes down sweet.
It does.
It all goes down sweet. All right, Coach. Appreciate the time here today. Hopefully we're back in these same seats a week from tonight. But Friday night, they'll be ready to go, and look forward to it on Friday.
Appreciate you, Flames.
Flames. Head coach Jamey Chadwell with us here tonight. Liberty football, playing good football here, 8-2, 5-2 in the league at Sam Houston on Friday at 3:30. And we'll have all the broadcast for you and a lot of ways to join us on our Facebook stream, LFSN Radio there. Best way to do it is download the Liberty mobile app, and you can stream the audio. You can mute the TV if you want to, and sync us up with the TV A lot of fans like to do that. All right, that's the particulars here today. Don't forget, Liberty basketball also returns home on Friday after a really nice trip down to the Virgin Islands. Don't want to be negligent and not talk about Richie McKay and the job that Liberty basketball did at the Virgin Islands. They beat Louisiana. They beat Kansas State. And last night, the championship win over McNeese State. And coming up tomorrow, Liberty women's basketball. They're out west. They're in Phoenix playing at Grand Canyon tomorrow. So good luck to Kerry Green and his women's team tomorrow against Grand Canyon. That will wrap up our show here tonight. Appreciate Coach Chadwell and his busy schedule stopping by to talk Liberty football. And to Cody Whitman, our engineer, thank you for your hard work. And all the fans out there that came here tonight. It's a really, really nice crowd. And we hope we're back here 1 week from tonight. Should Liberty beat Sam Houston on Friday, we will have a championship show confirmed next Tuesday. But we'll see how Friday goes. We're feeling pretty good as the Flames take on Sam Houston. Again, Friday, 3:30 kickoff Eastern. And we'll have all the coverage for you here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. My name is Alan York. Have a great holiday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Tune us in on Friday. And we'll paint the picture for you on the radio. Have a great rest of the week, and go Flames.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank. Life lived full. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.